This is a Louie Tee Network exclusive.
Who else could it be? For me, your man, Louie Tee. Welcome, you are in the lab, and of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me on the 2016 NFL Draft Prospects 101 series. Your guide to some of the biggest and hottest names the 2016 NFL Draft. We're talking tight ends, and this next guy comes from what seems to be a tight end football factory. They've been churning out tight ends of late, and I think he's going to be another one of these guys that's going to make it to the league. I think he's going to have to kind of reinvent himself at the next level because I don't see him being a traditional tight end, but I think he could serve a role at the next level. I think he could be more of a dual threat for someone. Talking about Austin Hooper from Stanford. Let's talk about Austin Hooper and what he brings to the table at 6'4", 254 pounds. I look at his frame, he looks more like a receiver to me. And I don't even actually see 254 pounds, which is odd, but I believe it. I mean, he looks longer than 6'4", to be honest with you. He looks like he's more of a 6'5", 6'6" athlete. But anyway, 6'4", 254, which is good size. You'd like him to be a better blocker than what he is at that size. You think he would be able to be a better blocker, but the fact of the matter is he isn't. Let's talk about his good movement skills. I talked about Tyler Higbee and how good of an athlete he is. Austin Hooper is just as good of an athlete as Tyler Higbee. I don't think he's as gifted as Tyler Higbee is in terms of athleticism, but he's right up there. And again, he's got to build like a wide receiver, so he runs good routes, gets open. I think his movement skills are very, very good and are going to translate to the next level as a guy that I think can play some H-back and come out of the backfield, and maybe you teach him to block a little bit better and he would flourish in a role like that. I think that would be something that will really probably pique the interest of some teams at the next level. Can climb the ladder. Now, this is something that you can't coach. Either you can do this or you can't. This guy can go up and get the football with the best of them at the tight end position. And so he's one of those guys that I think is really going to be a big asset for a team in the red zone. You're at the 5-yard line. You're looking to throw that fade route. You're looking to throw that slant route, post route, whatever you want to call it. You want to throw it up high. You want someone to go and get it. I think Austin Hooper could be that guy for you in the red zone. Saw him do it enough at Stanford with enough consistency that I feel good at saying if you throw it up there, Austin Hooper's going to go up there and go and get it like a Hooper. And so I think that's something that's going to help him get drafted and be a big pro for him moving on to the next level. Solid hands. And again, with these tight ends this year, the ones that are at the top, and again, you know, the tight end position isn't what it once was, but these guys can all catch. And I think more so than blocking, catching is something that they focus on more with tight ends now, especially in college football, where blocking and not playing in pro-style offenses a lot of the time, and that's not the case at Stanford, you know, but in most college situations, a lot of spreads, so you're not asking the tight end to block in traditional ways. A lot of these guys aren't even blocking, period. I mean, a lot of these guys are just being split out and used as receiving tight ends more so than blocking tight ends. So that's something that you see with a lot of these tight ends. They catch the football very well. That's not something that they struggle with at all. He's a yakster, one of these guys that can catch it, get some yards after the catch. I think he's more of a threat once he has the football in his hands. And so than some of these other guys in this draft. So Austin Hooper to me is a guy that to me is going to be a really good receiving tight end at the next level if put in the right system and utilized correctly. But I don't think he's going to be a 3-down tight end, not the guy you want in on first and second down if you're looking to run the football, but on third down or even on second down if it's a passing situation. You know, you can't have tendencies in this league, but he'd be a guy that you definitely want on the field if you're looking to throw the football and trying to pick up first downs and move for sticks. You go to his cons. He needs a lot of work as a blocker, and to me, what I think you'll need to do, and I'll go ahead and lump this last con in there as well, because he needs to work on being a blocker, which I think stops him from being that traditional inline tight end that you're looking for. I think he's going to be more of this final con, more of an H-back flex tight end than a traditional inline tight end. So essentially what I'm saying to you is I think he's going to be one of these Ryan Hewitt type guys that you draft and he ends up having to convert to H-back / fullback type of player for you. A guy that He's going to block a little bit in the backfield, but sneak out into the route, win on some option arrow routes over the middle of the field. Maybe isolate a linebacker on this guy coming out of the backfield and win that way. Sneak him, motion him out from fullback or H-back to the slot and have him run routes from there and set up some mismatch situations with linebackers there as well. So I think he's more of a H-back to me at the next level than he is a traditional inline tight end that you just line up tight to your line and have him block in the run game. So I think there's a niche that he can carve out for himself at the next level. We'll see if the team drafts him and looks at him in that light, because I think that's where he will be best utilized and his talents might be on better display that way. We'll see what happens with him, but make no mistake about it. He's athletically gifted enough and he can go and get the football well enough. And I think Austin Hooper will be able to get drafted and do that for someone at the next level. That's Austin Hooper and his draft prospects 101 breakdown. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join us as I continue to break down anything and everything National Football League. Got another tight end to break down. Come back and join me as I continue to stroll through these final prospects as we get closer to the 2016 NFL Draft. See you next time. There's plenty more where that came from. While you're here, subscribe to the channel. If you want more Louie Tee, be sure to follow me on Twitter at InTheLabRoom, or you can like the Facebook page at In the Lab Room. That's In the Lab Room on Facebook and at In the Lab Room on Twitter. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so.